Yeah, I know. I just kind of always loved dolls. I was really into Monster High when I was a kid. And when I got a little bit older, I was kind of felt like that wasn't cool anymore. But I still really like them. I liked the artistry of them. And when COVID happened, doll collecting started getting really big, so I kind of started paying attention more. And obviously, at the same time as COVID, there was a lot more awareness of, well, racial disparities, I guess. And I've always been kind of a make the representation you want to see in art. Like, if you want stories about queerness, write stories about queerness. If you want to see paintings of epic fantasy settings that are wheelchair friendly, you should paint that. Like, you should not ask these big corporations to do that for you. And like, when people in the doll community were like, "Oh, why aren't dolls diverse?" I was just like, guys, make your dolls diverse, because dolls are marketed as like a mass market thing. Like, they're lowest common denominator. They're overwhelmingly white, and even when they are POC, they're kind of like made to look as white as possible. Like, either they're the palest shade of brown that is not beige, or they have blue eyes or straight hair. And like, that's kind of sad to me, because I think diversity is beautiful. And again, the big thing of dolls is like, you can experiment with like your look and stuff without actually having to like experiment on you. So I think it's really important to everyone has the ability to see themselves in dolls, especially little girls. And like, for a long time, I've been wanting to make a doll that celebrates modest fashion, because there aren't a lot of those on the market. Like, I can't think of any except that one Barbie that is based on that Muslim Olympian. I can't remember her name, but like, she does fencing. And that's literally the only one I could think of, and I'm like a super doll nerd. So when All Maker's Eve was announced, I was like, this is my excuse. I finally get to make this doll I've been planning forever. So I went out and I bought a doll. And yeah, this is the story of, I guess, my crazy creative process and how I hopefully won that contest. I'm recording this obviously before the awards are announced, so I don't know yet. But we're gonna find out. And this is very, very clearly unscripted. I lost a lot of my footage due to this weird technical error. A literal bug crawled in my computer and died. And so a lot of this footage is reenactments and reshoots and just me explaining things. So yeah. There it is. Joanne Fabrics. I really wanted this doll to be Halloween themed, so as soon as I got to Joanne, I headed straight to the seasonal section. So, you know how I mentioned I lost a bunch of my footage? I found a workaround for that. While I was making this project, I sent a bunch of process photos to my friends on Discord, and yeah, thankfully I was able to access those process photos so you guys have something to look at instead of just... yeah. All of this sewing footage is super sped up because I do all of my sewing by hand. It's not that I don't know how to use a machine, it's just that I don't want to. So what you're seeing here is actually several hours of finger pain. So I just got back from Anime Nebraska, which, despite its name, doesn't happen in Nebraska. It happens just this side of the Iowa-Nebraska border. But one of the cool things I got there was this book about designing fantasy costumes, which is a skill I've always wanted to get better at. I do a lot of like anime fan art, and so a lot of my fantasy costumes are already draw heavily from someone else's work. Like, oh, what if a mistress had an air force? What if there was like a steampunk Jedi or something? And that's a great start, but it doesn't really like, you know, fully get me all the way there. So this is just a bunch of cool tips and tricks. It really makes me want to step up my game with this project. So I'm gonna leaf through this a bit more, but I've already decided I want to add a bunch of embroidery to this, which is a bit of an undertaking this late in the game, but we shall overcome. Why did I do this to myself? So this is the embroidery pattern I'm planning on using for this project, and this is the color mock-up. And I wasn't sure how I was going to transfer it to the fabric itself, but then I realized I can use this Tupperware as a light box and just like trace it. Awesome. So I couldn't film this process because I was using my phone to create the lights under the light box, but it turned out pretty good. It did shift a little bit, but I think the composition still works really well. So now I just need to embroider this.
In a town in the woods at the top of a hill, there's a house where no one lives. So you take a big bag of your big city money there and buy it. But at night when the house is dark and you're all alone, there's a noise upstairs. At the top of the stairs there's a door, and you take a deep breath and try it. And the flashlight shows you something moving just inside the door. There's a tattered dress and a feeling you have felt somewhere before. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a ruined eye, it's always open.
So, a little bit of an update. My camera battery died and I didn't realize I hadn't recorded this, but scarf came along pretty nice. I think I cut it a little too big, but I don't hate the way it kind of drapes as a cape. This knot is a little large, but you can't really avoid that in doll scale. Fabric just bulks up so much faster. The hat is coming along really nicely. It kind of smells burnt over here. I didn't buy this interfacing. I got it randomly from someone in Cosplay Club, so I don't know if I did it wrong, but we're gonna hope I didn't do it wrong. And then the broom, I just found this stick outside. I painted it and I made this tassel with some glow-in-the-dark yarn. And we're just gonna hot glue those together, maybe add some ribbon, and yeah, the end is in sight. It's 8:47 p.m. Deadline is 4 p.m. tomorrow. So I gotta finish the embroidery on the hat and sew the hat up and stuff, but that's like the largest thing remaining, which is great. So it's 9:10 a.m. Halloween, and I'm not quite done attaching all of the beads, but I do have all of the other stitching. Oh no, I don't have all of the other I have one small thing to do. But yeah, I have class, and then I will come back immediately after class and finish this, because not only do I have to finish sewing this, I have to like actually attach the hat. We shall see. It is crunch time. I'm walking back from class. My wig is getting in my face because of the wind. Thankfully, I don't live too far from the design college, so I'm just going to go to town on my project and then immediately run to the Student Innovation Center and drop it off. I have, again, just a little over 2 hours to do this. So I am on my way to the Student Innovation Center with my project. I've got like one seam that I haven't finished and I won't have time to, but it's not that obvious. And here she is, the final result. Just ignore the fact that that seam isn't sewn. They're playing music at the perfect volume to make you question your sanity. Like earlier, I was the only one hearing the Jurassic Park music, and I thought it was going crazy. Alright, so I'm getting kind of bored hanging around the Student Innovation Center for hours just waiting for something to happen, so I'm gonna go back to my dorm, change into my Halloween pajamas, maybe watch a spooky movie, and then I will be back when they announce the winners. Also, just a moment to think about the fact I am walking around with bare legs. Beauty is pain.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out for our very first All Makers Eve SIC Spooktacular event. This is the first ever, so round of applause for all of you coming. Thank you so much. So for those of you who didn't know, we had our creation contest, so students can sign up and submit projects that they made here in the building, and then we had judges looking over all the projects this afternoon, and then we had winners, honorable mentions, and then a judge's choice to announce. So winners, if you are here, come down to the front. We're going to get your picture, and then we have a form for you to sign for your prize that you won. First up for honorable mention, we have Yunan Zhang with her Herta eyes.
Yay! I actually know Yuyan. She is the one who taught me embroidery. I know her from Cosplay Club, so shout out to her. Really glad she won. So I didn't win anything, but I'm like not mad about it. I feel that everyone who won something definitely deserved what they got, and it only serves as motivation to try harder next year. But yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. Also, if you're wondering what the music in this video is from, it's by this guy named Jonathan Colton. He is a really big believer in Creative Commons and stuff, and I really like his work, so I included it.